The stars above Sector Tor 7 were filled with fire. Bright lights flashed in every direction. Ships burned, engines exploded. Beams of energy cut through metal like paper. Dozens of alien races had sent their best ships to fight, but even together, they were losing. Commander Yura of the Kalari stood at the center of his bridge. His long silver skin was marked with dark blue lines of his rank. He looked at the battle through the main view screen. The Dominion was closing in. Their ships, black and red, moved like hunters, silent, fast, cold. All units regroup around. The seventh moon, Yura shouted. His voice was calm, but his heart was heavy. Defensive positions. Hold the line. His officers worked fast. Sparks flew from one of the consoles. Another ship in their fleet exploded far in the distance, leaving only pieces behind. We can't hold them, said Officer Trell, her voice shaking. We've lost 33 ships in the last 10 minutes. Yura knew she was right. The Dominion had more ships, better weapons, endless soldiers. They were built for war. The Alliance had come together too late. They had sent messages to Earth. Old allies, humans were quiet for many years, but they once helped fight in the early days of the war. Some said Earth had vanished. Others said they had grown tired of galactic politics. They won't come, Trell whispered. We waited too long. Yura stayed quiet. He looked down at the small pendant on his neck, a gift from a human soldier long ago. The words were faded, but he could still read them. When all hope fails, watch the sky. A loud explosion shook the ship. The lights flickered. Damage reports came in one after another. Commander, shouted another officer, the flagship of the Zarnik fleet is gone. Yura closed his eyes for a moment. Another ally lost. Suddenly, the room became quiet. A new alert flashed across every screen. A known signal detected, said Officer Trell. Her voice was filled with surprise. Something is arriving from hyperspace. Dominion reinforcements, Yura asked. No, it's different. A large ripple appeared in space. It glowed with blue light, then cracked open like glass. From the rift came something massive, silent, black, smooth. The alien bridge crew stared in silence. The ship was unlike anything they had ever seen. It did not match any known design. It had no visible markings, no flags, no fleet around it. Just one giant ship, slowly entering the battlefield. It's big, whispered one officer. So big, Trell looked at her screen again. Sir, it's bigger than any dreadnought on record. Bigger than our space stations. Is it a Dominion weapon? Yura asked. No. I don't think it's theirs. It's not broadcasting Dominion codes. Then the view screen changed. All across the Allied fleet, every screen showed the same thing, a close view of the black ship, floating in silence, and then it moved. The front of the ship lit up with a soft glow. Strange blue rings spun slowly around it. The glow became brighter and brighter, but it made no sound. Then a voice spoke, calm, deep, from nowhere and everywhere. This war ends now. The voice was human. Trell gasped. It's them. Yura stepped forward, stunned. Earth. The Dominion ships stopped. They seemed confused too. No one moved. No one fired. The battlefield went silent. The black ship stood still. No one knew what it would do. But everyone felt the same thing in their hearts: fear, awe, and something else. Hope. Commander Yura placed his hand on the screen, staring at the ship. For the first time in many hours, he allowed himself a small smile. They came. The battlefield was frozen. The stars, once full of motion, now held a strange calm. Neither the Dominion nor the Allied fleets dared to move. All eyes were on the black ship that had just arrived. It was massive, larger than any warship in recorded history. It looked like a piece of space itself, shaped into a silent weapon. On board the Kalari flagship, Commander Yura stood without blinking. The voice still echoed in his mind. This war ends now. Trell was the first to speak again. Sir, we are receiving no further signals from the human ship. Is it a threat? Asked another officer. Yura narrowed his eyes. If it wanted to attack us, it already could have. Across the stars, sensors tried to scan the ship. None could break through the dark layers of its surface. It gave off no heat, no communication, no ID. It floated with power but spoke. No more. In the Dominion command ship, Admiral Croft watched the strange vessel with unease. His race, the Varnock, was proud and cruel. He had never feared anything in his life. But now, his many black eyes watched the ship closely. "What is this thing?" he growled. His science officer trembled. "We can't read it. We can't scan. Its shields are beyond anything we've ever seen." Croft bared his fangs. "Then we destroy it. Fire all forward weapons." The order went out. Dozens of Dominion warships locked onto the human vessel. Red beams of light shot forward. Energy missiles flew. Plasma waves blasted through the cold dark. Every shot hit the target, and every shot vanished. The black warship didn't even move. The Dominion officers looked in shock. Nothing, not even a scratch. On the Caleri bridge, gasps filled the air. "They attacked it," Trell whispered. "But it didn't react." Yura leaned forward. "No, it's waiting." Then, for the first time, the human ship moved. It was slow but certain. Blue rings lit up around its hull. Strange lines glowed softly along its sides. It rotated in space, calmly, like a predator studying its prey. No panic, no rush, just power and focus. Then a beam of pure white light shot from its center. It hit one Dominion warship. There was no explosion, no fire, just silence, and then the ship was gone. Not broken, not damaged, gone. As if it had never existed. The Dominion fleets panicked. "Scatter," Croft screamed. "Get away." But it was too late. One by one, more white beams lit up. Each time, a Dominion ship vanished into nothingness. There were no screams, no chance to run. Only silence and light. The Allied fleets watched in awe. "They're not fighting," Trell said softly. "They're correcting." Yura stared. At the black ship, Earth didn't come to fight. They came to end this. The humans had once been weak. Long ago, when they joined the galaxy, they were small and uncertain. But now, their technology was far ahead of anyone. Their weapons were precise, their shields untouchable, their presence unshakable. "Where have they been all these years?" one officer asked. "Watching," Yura said, "and building." After only 6 minutes, half the Dominion fleet was gone. Then, the black ship stopped again. No more beams. No more movement. Just silence. And then, another message came through, this time directed to all species in the sector. To the Dominion, lay down your arms. No more lives need to be lost. You have seen our strength. Do not test it again. To the Allied races, you are not alone. Earth stands with you. That was all. No threats. No pride. Just facts. The war had shifted in seconds. Admiral Croft growled in frustration. "Retreat all ships. Get us out of here." The remaining Dominion vessels turned and fled into hyperspace. No one chased them. The black ship didn't move. It didn't need to. The battlefield fell into a deep silence once again. But this time, it was peaceful. Commander Yura let out a long breath. He had never felt something so strange. Victory without fighting. Hope without words. They arrived. Trell said quietly, almost like a prayer. Yura nodded. "Yes, and now everything has changed." Above them, the black ship floated like a silent guardian. Waiting. Watching. The galaxy would remember this day forever. The stars were quiet now, all across the remains of the battlefield in Sector Taurus 7. Broken ships floated like silent ghosts. Fires blinked in the distance, but no new weapons fired. The Dominion had fled. The Allied fleets did not move. Only one ship remained fully active and untouched, the black human warship. It hovered in the middle of the battlefield like a mountain in space, huge, calm, and terrifying. It had no name written on it, no glowing banners, no loud engine noise. And yet, every living being who saw it knew what it was. Power. Commander Yura and his crew watched from their bridge in awe. His voice was low, full of respect. They destroyed the enemy without noise, without hate, just precision. Trell nodded beside him. "That ship, it's not just a weapon, it's a message." Yura looked at the view screen again. The black ship was no longer firing, but the memory of its silent beams still shook him. The way Dominion ships had vanished without debris, without a sound, was something no one would forget. Meanwhile, deep inside the human warship, Captain Alara Dane stood on her command deck. Her uniform was simple. Her face was calm. But her eyes were sharp, watching every screen with care. "Status?" she asked. A young human officer replied. "Dominion fleet in full retreat. Allied ships stable. No threats detected." "Good," she said. "Keep shields up. No further engagement unless provoked." The crew obeyed instantly. They had trained for years in secret, preparing for this moment. Earth had stayed silent in the galaxy for a reason, not out of fear, but out of patience. Earth had grown in silence, built in the shadows. And now it had arrived not to conquer, but to protect. Back on the Kalari ship, Yura received a private message. It was a secure line directly from the human warship. He accepted it quickly. A hologram appeared in front of him. It was Captain Alara Dane. "Commander Yura," she said with a polite nod. "I'm Captain Dane, speaking for Earth Command. You requested aid. We are here." Yura stood tall. "Captain, I don't know what to say. You saved us. You saved all of us." Alara's voice was firm but kind. "We responded because the galaxy needs balance. Earth cannot ignore such danger any longer." The Dominion crossed a line. Yura looked at her with wonder. "Your ship is more powerful than anything we've ever seen. How many more like it do you have?" Alara gave a small smile. "Enough." News spread fast across the galaxy. In hidden bunkers, Dominion leaders held quiet meetings. "They wiped out half our fleet with one ship," one whispered. "Imagine what 10 could do." "They must have more," said another. Earth would not reveal itself with just one. Fear grew in the hearts of those who once ruled through violence. Meanwhile, in the allied worlds, hope bloomed. Messages were sent to Earth, not with fear, but with thanks, with respect. Some races had once looked down on humans, thought them simple, weak, but now the story had changed. On the battlefield, Captain Alara opened a wide transmission. Her voice was clear, sent to every system nearby. "To all listening, Earth does not seek war. But if war is forced upon the innocent, we will answer. This ship is not for conquest. It is a shield, a warning. We will not interfere in peaceful matters. But if the Dominion or any other force threatens life, again Earth will return." Commander Yura listened to her words with quiet pride. This was not the Earth he had met years ago. This was something greater. Later, Trell walked up to Yura on the observation deck. She looked out at the black ship, still floating in the distance. "It didn't need allies," she said softly. "It acted alone. But it still called us friends." Yura nodded. "That's what makes them strong, not just their power, but their purpose behind them." Other allied ships slowly came online again. Survivors began sending signals to one another. Rescue teams were deployed. The rebuilding had begun. But one thing had changed forever. The galaxy knew now. Earth was not sleeping. Earth was watching. And Earth could strike like thunder, quiet, fast, and final. The battlefield was quiet now. The fires had dimmed. The ships that once fought fiercely floated like tired ghosts. But the silence was not empty, it was full of meaning. Commander Yura stood before the Allied Council. Round him were leaders from many races, tall, small, feathered, scaled, and armored. They had come together to decide the future. At the center, a hologram appeared. It showed the calm face of Captain Alara Dane, the human commander of the Black Warship. Her voice was steady, clear. "No anger, no threats, leaders of the galaxy. I speak to you today not as a conqueror, but as a protector." The room listened. Carefully, Earth has watched from the shadows for many years. We saw how the Dominion spread fear and cruelty. We hoped the galaxy would find peace on its own. But when millions were lost and hope faded, we chose to act. Yura felt a chill. The humans had stayed silent for decades. Now, their words carried great weight. Our ship's arrival marks a new chapter, one where no race will suffer in silence. We offer peace, but peace with strength. One leader, the tall and slender Vassar, leaned forward. "What does Earth want from us?" What price must we pay for this peace? Alara's eyes held steady. No price but respect for life. And justice. We do not seek control or tribute, but we will not tolerate slavery, oppression, or genocide. Another council member, a heavy-set Dramu with many eyes, spoke. In the Dominion? What of their leaders who cause so much pain? They are given a choice, Alara replied. Surrender and face fair judgment, or continue war and be stopped by force. Murmurs spread through the council chambers. The human terms were clear and just but firm. Yura knew this was the moment history would remember. We will stand with all who seek peace. We will defend the innocent, but if provoked, Earth's response will be swift and final. After the message, many leaders discussed quietly. Some were hopeful, others worried. Change was coming fast. Trell turned to Yura. Do you think the Dominion will surrender? He sighed. I don't know, but they know Earth's power now. That changes everything. Back on the black human warship, Captain Alara Dane prepared for the next step. Her crew worked calmly. Communications opened too many systems across the galaxy. Earth's voice would be heard everywhere. Her officers asked, what if some races resist? What if the Dominion fights back? Alara smiled slightly. Then they will learn quickly that Earth's justice is not empty words. She stood on the bridge, looking out at the stars. The galaxy was vast and full of mystery. But now, one thing was clear. Earth had returned. Meanwhile, in the hidden halls of the Dominion's command, Admiral Croft paced with anger. Earth interferes in what does not concern them. He roared. His advisors tried to calm him. We cannot fight Earth openly. Their weapons destroyed half our fleet. Croft slammed his fist on the table. We must find their weakness. We cannot let humans control the galaxy. But deep inside, even Croft feared what Earth represented. The Dominion's war machine was no longer unstoppable. Across the allied worlds, hope began to grow. People told stories of the black ship's silent power. Children played games pretending to be Earth's protectors. Artists painted pictures of the day the warship arrived and the battlefield went silent. Commander Yura watched these changes with pride. This is more than a warship. He said to Trell, it is a promise. A promise that no one would stand alone. A promise that the galaxy could be safer. Days passed. The black warship remained in neutral space, between the former battleground and the Dominion's retreat. Its presence was a quiet reminder. The allied fleets repaired their ships and shared new plans. Earth's rival had united many once divided worlds. Messages came from Earth now, offers of trade, knowledge, and peace. Yura read one aloud. To all allies of peace, Earth welcomes you. Together, we will build a future without fear. The room filled with hopeful smiles. But the galaxy also understood the warning behind the words. Earth was no longer hidden. Its power was real, and for those who chose war instead of peace. The silence that fell over the battlefield was only the beginning. The galaxy had changed forever. The black human warship still floated silently in neutral space near Sector Tor 7. It was a quiet giant, watching and waiting. Its presence was a symbol of power and a promise of peace. Commander Yura stood on the deck of his ship, looking at the warship in the distance. Many others watched with him. Allied fleets from many races gathered to witness the new era. The Dominion had surrendered. The leaders of the Dominion sent envoys to Earth. They spoke carefully. Knowing they faced a force greater than any before, Earth did not seek to punish them harshly. Instead, it offered terms of peace and rebuilding. The galaxy, tired of war, accepted. On the black warship, Captain Alara Dane spoke with her crew. We have done what we promised, she said, but our work has only begun. Her officers nodded. They knew Earth's mission was bigger than one battle. Earth would help rebuild the damaged worlds. Earth would teach others how to protect themselves. And Earth would watch, ready to stop any threat before it grew. Back on the Allied Council, Commander Yura met with leaders from many species. Earth's rival was a turning point, Yura said. But we must work together to keep this peace. The Council agreed. Plans were made for joint fleets, shared defenses, and new laws to prevent war. The black warship became a symbol, not just of power, but of Hope. In many worlds, stories were told of that day. Children learned about the human ship that arrived when all seemed lost. Artists painted its image a dark giant with glowing blue rings. Scholars studied Earth's message of peace with strength. For the first time in generations, the galaxy dreamed of a future without endless war. But some still feared Earth's power. Whispers spread that Earth had many such ships, hidden in dark space. Others worried if Earth might one day demand control over the galaxy. Captain Alara Dane knew these fears would always exist. She said to her crew, "Our duty is not to rule, but to protect. Power without justice is empty." Years passed. The Black Warship remained a guardian above the stars. Its presence stopped conflicts before they began. Allied fleets trained together. Inspired by Earth's example, the galaxy grew stronger, safer, and more united. Commander Yura often looked up at the warship. He remembered the silence that fell when it first arrived. That silence was not fear. It was respect. A new silence, one of hope. And so, the galaxy moved forward. Under Earth's watchful eyes, peace took root. The battlefield that once roared with war was now a place of quiet strength. Because when Earth's warship arrived, the galaxy learned a powerful truth. Sometimes, silence is the greatest power of all.